Hey, what's going on, y'all? It is Barb Meets World, and I am back again with another recap and review for the season finale of Married to Medicine. The season being season 10, and this is episode 14, the Med Gala. Not to be confused with the Met Gala. Okay, let's do it. Hi, she's here. Okay. Like I just said, this was the season finale, y'all. So please let me know. Let me know what you thought of this season finale on, a scale of 1 to 10. For me, I would have to say this season finale was about, I give it a 7. It wasn't terrible. Got a much anticipated cameo from a certain person. But I saw a bit kind of unfold, just like a lot of the season unfold kind of on social media. So it fell just a little bit for me in a couple areas. But before we get into all of that, you guys, please hit that like button. It helps me out, it helps my channel out, and everything in between. It helps me get all my content out to viewers like you that are out there and they don't know that I exist. So help a girl out and hit that like button, please, and thank you. And while you're at it, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button as well. And then go right on next to that and hit that post notifications bell so you know every time I upload. Let's get down in those comments, y'all. Again, let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what you would rate this episode. Let me know what you guys think of my commentary as well. Let's get right on into it. So we were still in Hilton Head when we first jumped into this episode. That was the cast trip for this season. We went to Hilton Head. So again, it being the season finale, we pick right up where we left off. The first thing we get into, though, specifically, is this mysterious missing $150K. Dr. Alicia and Kemma, when we were discussing things last week as it pertains to marriages and all of that, Kemma had revealed that there's $150,000 out there that Dr. Alicia cannot account for. And after I did my video and everything, I really sat and thought about it. And I was like, you know what? She probably knows exactly where that money is. And if it's in a certain place that I think it may be, like in a separate bank account, I'm not mad at it. Or she took it and invested it. Honestly, I'm not mad at it. And by no means am I saying keep things from your partner or anything like that. I'm not advocating for that whatsoever, you guys. But what I am saying is that in this situation, that was very necessary, I feel like, because his way of thinking, he although she's training him as he's training her, he ain't trained up all the way yet. So in this situation, I feel like that was very necessary. And also because I feel like their marriage is kind of fragile, if you ask me, because if and when she does divorce him, she gonna be happy she took that $150K and put it elsewhere. She does try to say that she spent it on the kids, though, and I'm like, see, I've been hearing that excuse since I was in the military. Okay, people be using their kids as excuses for stuff a lot, and I feel like y'all get away with it because ain't nobody gonna question you doing something for your kids. But I know what y'all be doing. I see right through it. But anyway. The ladies, they were sitting amongst themselves. The guys were wherever they was. And this is when that conversation unfolded. And I believe it was Heavenly that said, yeah, you just got to learn how to tell a couple white lies. Jackie was like, yeah, sometimes you might have to, order out and then throw that ish in a pot and act like you whipped it up. Okay. And I was like, see, that's too much work. I don't got time for that. But I feel like for me, you guys, what this all boils down to is really doing the work and taking the time to iron out these non-negotiables prior to walking down the aisle. And by no means am I sitting here saying that I was somebody that knew every single tiny detail about my husband before we got married. No, I'm not. There is definitely things that came up after the marriage, things that I learned, things that he learned. Like, as you move and navigate through your marriage and all of that and your years together, of course, you're going to learn things. People, you're constantly evolving, stuff like that. But these non-negotiable things or characteristics, principles, ways of thinking should have been ironed out prior to. And I say that because, actually, I'm going to save that for later on when it pops up in the episode. But during this conversation, all I was thinking is he should have already knew. One, if you're having to do all that, acting like you cooked and all that stuff, like you should already knew that he was not somebody who liked to be all up in the kitchen prior to. I do believe sometimes that, you know, you gotta kind of bend the fruits just a little bit, maybe, to keep things running smooth. And by that I mean, if you have some person who loves to think that they are, in charge, so to speak, or the leader, or whatever you guys want to call it, sometimes those individuals need a little assistance. Sometimes they need you to step in without seeming like you stepping in, if you get my drift. So I think that's kind of what Heavenly was putting down. And I don't know, maybe Alicia put it in her toolbox, maybe she did it. Only time will tell. But I kind of knew that if anybody understood the dynamic between Kemma and Alicia, it was going to be Heavenly. And I say that because we see how she speaks about her own marriage. We see how she positions herself in her own marriage and how Damon is positioned in their marriage and all that. So I wasn't surprised at all that Heavenly, of all people, kind of understood and drew some connections between those two relationships, marriages, relationships, whatever. Moving right along. So they are having a disco night party or whatever to celebrate 10 years. Again, you guys, this is their 10-year anniversary. So, because it is that anniversary, because it has been a decade, it is like the silver anniversary or whatever. So that is why we are looking like we about to go down to the Renaissance almost. But before they head off, they toast, and everybody honestly looked really nice. Everybody looked really nice, and everybody was kind of getting along, happy to be there. And so, of course, we spend time reflecting once we get to the setup and everything. It was set up real nice. It was cute. It was in like the backyard or whatever. Real nice, real nice. And they take us down memory lane because, like I said, it's been 10 years of ups and downs and everything in between. I feel like at this point, I guess Dr. Jackie and Curtis called themselves having trust in the group. They trusted that they could be around them without having a blast from the past or being reminded of anything. And all I was thinking is, okay, are you guys really friends then if it took all that? Are you guys? I still would have been low-key offended. And I think it was Eugene that was mainly kind of offended by them feeling as though they couldn't necessarily trust the individuals in the group to not bring up that BS that Curtis said. Yeah, Curtis. But I still would have been kind of irritated by that because I should have, who I am, my character as a friend should have spoke for itself a long time ago, but whatever. Simone gives Greg a shout out for trusting them around his new wife, and the feelings are pretty much mutual. Greg also is, grateful, I guess, that they welcomed his new wife in with open arms. And I say that loosely because y'all know what happened in the last 13 episodes of this show. Ugh, but it's all nice and huggy, kissy, kissy until Simone asks a bigger question. And Simone's like, who here has ever thought about, or said the words like, I want a divorce? And pretty much everybody raised their hands. At least one person from each couple raised their hand, except for Dr. Heavenly or Dr. Damon. Not surprised there. Were you guys surprised there? Let me know in the comments, because there wasn't a they being Heavenly, even if that was ever spoken, they weren't going to say it. And she definitely strikes me as somebody who, doesn't believe in divorce and is just going to bear it for forever until she leaves this earth. And that's something I just can't agree with, y'all. And I say this as a married woman, that I fully support getting out of a situation that no longer serves you. I say that to him. I say that to her. I say that to that person over there. I say that to that person over there. I say it to everybody. If something is not serving you, then get out of it. Life is way too short. You only get one of them, and we ain't got time to waste down here with situations and people that don't mean us any well, or that it's just not giving anymore. I'm always going to feel like that. I'm sorry. And that's not me advocating and wanting anybody to get divorced. No, but I support people being happy and at peace above all else. And living in discourse or not seeing eye to eye on every little thing, or arguing all day, every day about stuff, going upside each other's head, domestic violence, all that type of stuff. Like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We might as well just go our separate ways and find happiness yet again. I don't know how else to put it, y'all. I don't. Phaedra, although she made me laugh in this moment, I ain't buying what she was picking up. Did y'all catch when Phaedra was like, if I had been around this group when I was married, maybe I would still be married or whatever. Or maybe, I'll get married again just so I can keep hanging out with them. Goodbye, Phaedra Parks. Goodbye, Phaedra Parks. Get out of here with that, because we know that you are on your bachelorette-ish right now, and I fully support it. I fully support it. And not even just that, but I also was thinking, like, you got some judgmental elitist people up in this group. So who's to say that even if you was around this group when that happened, they would have been welcoming your ex-husband and you into the fold? But okay, I see what you did there, Phaedra. I'm gonna let you live. But going back to the question, the divorce question, Kim and Alicia actually spoke up first. And their example of this was when Alicia was pregnant with their daughter. And I don't remember how pregnant, but she was pregnant. She was at least 6 months. And they had a point of contention because he thought it was okay to still be requesting of his very much pregnant wife, belly protruding, that she still be in the kitchen cooking stewed chicken and all these other things. And that, I guess, he was just going to sit on his booty and not do nothing. And that is what I mean when I say, again, y'all, knowing certain things about your partner prior to getting married, letting your standards, letting your non-negotiables, letting your boundaries be known, your expectations, all of that stuff, letting all of that be known prior to walking down the aisle. I can't stress it enough. I can't, because I feel like we wouldn't have been seeing half these conversations between them had they did that. And don't go into a situation thinking like, oh yeah, they'll change. Like, oh, I can just get used to this or whatever. Like, no, you're selling yourself short. And certain things about people, yeah, they ain't changing. Certain things are a part of that person. So I would not hold my breath on that. You're just going to be setting yourself up for failure. You're going to be setting yourself up for failure. Yet you know, she's going to keep sticking to it. That's her business. But I was like, are you serious? You had to explain to your husband, you had to give him an ultimatum, basically. Not even basically, you had to literally give him an ultimatum in order for him to get on board. And his reason behind getting on board at that point was not even good enough for me. It wasn't, y'all. It wasn't good enough at all. This fool said, you know, in his culture, whatever, when that is said, what they hear is they're gonna take all half everything you got. They're gonna take all your money, all your this, all your that, and then like his mind wasn't even right in the right place for that, because you're making that about yourself and safeguarding your own assets and stuff like that. You're not doing that because you really realize, like, wow, this is someone I love and care about, and I shouldn't want to keep kicking their back in. It wasn't because you cared about her. No, it was because you care about yourself most. And that's what it boils down to for me. He's the type of person, he seems as though he only cares about himself. I couldn't be married to that person. I couldn't be in a relationship with that type of person. I don't even know if I could be friends with you, because it would be so frustrating to witness this type of behavior 24/7. And the dumbass shit that comes out of your mouth makes me want to punch you in the mouth every single time you open it. Every single time this season. I just anyway, we saw Toya and Eugene hit this point last season. You know, with him and in the area that he was working with and the panorama and everything that was going on, I think it did kind of take a toll probably on his mental health, on his outlook of stuff. Like healthcare workers were and are still getting rode extra hard. And I just feel like it was just a compounding of all those elements. And Eugene he was just probably not in a good headspace with all of that. So then it, of course, carried over into the marriage. And we saw that. The kids saw that, unfortunately, a bit. But I am glad to know that they are in a better space. I do feel like, and I will continue to say this, I do feel like they have the healthiest marriage, meaning they genuinely like each other, like being around each other, are kind of just able to be honest through and through with one another. He accepts her for who she is, and she clearly accepts him for who he is, and that's just what it is. So I'm glad they are in a better space, and I hope they remain doing such. She says that he's, you know, trying to do better at stuff or whatever, and she's trying to have an open mind. So I'm eager to see where this I'm eager to see where they are with this next season. We saw Simone and Cecil's beach blow up some years ago. We know that they were literally on the brink. They were literally right there at the divorce, and because of because they were able to draw some strength from the group, because they did their own, you know, therapies, and they put in their own work, they're able to now move into celebrating, I guess, 28 years of marriage, right? Okay. And Heavenly was a integral part of that, at least for Cecil. When he thinks back to the best times with the group and rebuilding his marriage and all that, he remembers how Heavenly renewed their vows. And she shares in that. She's thankful that she was able to be a part of that process. And this is when she takes the mic pretty much and speaks on the comparison between Damon and Kimma, and how a lot of his, I guess, ideals and the way he thinks and the way that the man should lead and all that stuff, that's very much a lot of where Damon is with it, but he's just not as vocal. And I'm like, I'm Toya. Toya's like, is that true, Damon? Is that true? He doubles down on it, though. He doubles down on it, and I feel like they kind of be playing in our faces a bit. I'm just like, you're not vocal. Yeah, you're never vocal. and you weren't vocal in this episode. And I'm like, what are you then, Damon? You're not vocal. You don't like couples things. You don't like this. You don't like. He just never gives us anything. So I just, whatever. Whatever. And if you guys are so traditional and all this type of stuff, it kind of throws me off, because the way that Heavenly shows up a lot in this group in everyday life isn't really consistent with the other half of the equation of that dynamic, if you ask me. Y'all see what I'm getting at there? But in the end, we're going to move right along. They're going to cheers to the next 10 years. And then they do a little dancing. They take this group pic. I can't lie. Jackie looked really cute here for me. I thought she looked really nice. They all look nice again, but I don't know. Jackie just looked really nice in this particular scene. So that's why I took a picture of it. But like I said, they take this group photo and yay, we're just so happy. Oh, yay, yay, celebration. I noticed too how Sweet Tea I put this shirt on above. We got a lot of cleavage. We got a lot of tete from Sweet Tea during this episode, and a little bit for Heavenly too. Good gosh. Oh, there was a lot. So now we move right back into Atlanta. We're back home. Everything is good. And it was... Kemba just doesn't even seem like he wants to even spend time with the kids. Like, he just, what do you care about? What are you good at? What, like, and I say that because they were doing, I think, one of those little, like, photo shoots for their son, or maybe his birthday was coming up or whatever, so they had everything decorated, whatever. And of course, Alicia's going to run upstairs, because yeah, you run upstairs, you run over here, you run over there, you run all around for your marriage. You're always going to be the one doing everything, because he don't look like he is trying to come up off that way of thinking. If you ask me, he's probably just doing that so he doesn't have to keep hearing about it. He ain't changing the way he thinks. I feel confident saying that. Anyway, not gonna lie, you guys, I really do like Phaedra's Lord Farquaad wig. I do. I was here for the Lord Farquaad bob. I liked it. But she pops in on Heavenly and Jackie at Jackie's office. And this is where we find out, hence the title, that they're going to be doing their first annual Med Gala, which I thought that was such a cute name. Why didn't y'all think about this 10 years ago? That's such a cute name. I wonder if you could trademark that. I wonder. Anyway, if they did, I hope they did. If you could, I hope they did, I should say. So again, it's Heavenly, Jackie, and Phaedra. They're having a sit down to talk about the details of said event. And at the same time, we see Eugene and Toya pulling up to Simone's house. Shout out to Sharon Stone. If you know, you know. But see, those are fun parts of relationships and stuff like that. When you guys can be like corny and stuff after all these years and make little jokes and still like get hot for one another a little bit, those are cute moments. But they pop in over there, and so Toya lets us know she was planning on donating, offering up whatever you want to call it, 3 cases of wine. And because of that, she doesn't believe she should have to pay like the ticket price or whatever, which is $1,000 each. And with that, you also get your business logos on the step and repeat. Remember all this, y'all. And I'm not really... And then at the same time, we got, like I said, Heavenly, Phaedra, and Jackie over here in her office. And Jackie lets Phaedra know, yeah, Toya ain't paid. She ain't put up nothing. She ain't put up not one near red cent. And again, $1,000. Eugene tries to break it down and say that, okay, if every bottle is $40 times this, it should equal out to $1,400, which I feel like is stupid, because again, of all of these, if all of these contributions are aimed at financing this event, what are we going to do with wine? Wine is not cash. So that should have been in addition. We still need to pay for the damn thing. So I wasn't understanding what he was trying to illustrate with that example. Y'all, maybe I missed something. Y'all let me know. Like last time I checked, this isn't the barter system. Like, what do we? Okay, anyway. And Simone tried to say it doesn't matter if she pays the money or not. And I'm just like, okay, but later on I feel like Simone was saying one thing to Toya in front of her, and she could have nipped this in the bud right there, but she didn't because she didn't say the right stuff. So again, over at Jackie's office, Phaedra also says that she donated wine as well and paid the fee. So I'm like, Toya should just do the same thing, because at the end of the day, all this is going to just show people, Toya, or make people think is that you are having financial problems again. Y'all having issues or whatever again. So you should just paid it and kept it moving. You should just paid it and which would dispel any rumors. And again, if this is supposed to be a collective event, then I don't see what the issue was. I feel it's because at the end of the day, it's just gonna make you look cheap. At first, I was kind of like, but then I thought about it and I was like, no, like you can't just negotiate a monetary bill for like a bottle of wine. Like it doesn't even work like that. So I'm sure y'all see what I'm saying. Y'all see what I'm saying. I just was so confused as to why we need to go into great detail about this, because it should have been common sense. But there's always one person, y'all. There's always one person. And because there's always one person, Toya decided she's still going to bring the wine. And so we'll just have to wait and see. Moving right along, we are now at the Med Gala. It's the day of the event. They rolled out the red carpet. It's kind of like the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They got the stars and everything. Real cute, right? Real cute. So we also find out that Anila is going to be in attendance because she's on the phone with Toya and they're going to ride together. So we get a cameo of Anila as well. And I feel like she tried to shade Quad on two separate times in this episode. I understand why, but at the same time, I was like, okay, now when she claps back, it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. She just gonna clap back. So I hope you're waiting for that, Anila. Anila probably just want to be back on the show. Honestly, she probably just want to be involved again. Like that's what it was giving. That she couldn't wait to be back, put her face in that camera. Which honestly, because I really liked Anila's husband. I wouldn't be upset if they came back. Like I didn't have any qualms. I didn't have any issues with Anila or her husband. I'd be fine with that. What do you guys think? Y'all want to see Anila back or no? Let me know in the comments. So anywho, all the ladies arrived. Everybody looked really nice, except y'all, when I was putting these pictures up, and by no means am I trying to put anybody on blast, but I was like, is that a big ass corn on Phaedra's pinky toe? Like they are so messed up for zooming in on that. You see, is that a corn? I think, yeah, that's a big corn. Oh, poor little baby toe. Anyway, everybody looked nice. Like I said, we got nothing but Titty City from Sweet Tea. But I would say the only person's outfit that I was kind of like about, and you can really only see a glimpse of it on the far right here, is Alicia's. And I say that just because I don't know. It was just like the sleeves. Was that a separate? Was that separate than the dress, the pink big sleeves? And y'all know I'm a pink girl through and through. Like pink can do no wrong over here. But I was just kind of like, oh, okay. And Simone's outfit, it was just like kind of was like whatever to me. I wanted Heavenly she was given Titty City too, and that's the second. It's not the second time this season that we done seen a little nipple action from her. I'm gonna need you to tame them, okay? I'm gonna need you to tame them. Like, come on now. But speaking of Heavenly, she wasted absolutely no time, you guys, immediately telling folks about how Toya didn't put in any money. She was telling this person and that person and all types of people in attendance. Did you guys see? Is it Shadina? Yes, Shadina. I hope she's doing well. She looked like she looked beautiful. She looked like she was in good spirits, but I know that she's battling the is it breast cancer? I don't want to misspeak. I'm not sure if it's breast cancer or what type, but we know Shadina. If you guys have watched Real Housewives of Atlanta and Married to Medicine, she's been like the resident surrogate for Candy, Shamia. I think just Candy and Shamia, but that's why I recognized her and stuff. I hope she is doing well, and definitely extending my prayers to her. Also, you know who else wasn't in attendance, y'all? Take a wild guess. They the tallest one on the cast. Curtis. Yes, Curtis, as in Jackie's husband. He was not here, y'all. He was not at this event, y'all. Y'all know where he was? Yeah? Mm-hmm. He was in the DR. You know, where he's been off and on all season. I'm like, you couldn't even have stayed around to this event. He better be doing some amazing business down there. And I mean actual business. Because to miss this, but Jackie wasn't bothered. Nah, Jackie wasn't bothered, y'all. She said he gonna bring mama the money back or whatever. And I'm like, but is he though, really? He might bring you something back, but I don't know if it's gonna be money or anything tangible. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, y'all. I am just kidding. This is all for entertainment purposes. I just had to throw that out there. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't surprised that he wasn't in attendance. Actually, no, I would be lying if I said I was. Yeah, I wasn't surprised. He ain't been in attendance, but for like 3 episodes this season, I feel like, and it was always when it was either the guys or when it was on a couples trip. When it was something for just Jackie, he was not in attendance. Anyway, moving on. So this is when Toya kind of starts to make a big stink about the folks telling her she had to take her signs down and stuff, even though she supplied the wine. And because of that, they ran out of glasses and stuff. And because of that, she just put her stuff up. And I just wanted her to stop because I feel like she was only really making herself look bad at this point. But also at this point, the bigger picture here is like, let's not do this at this event. I don't feel like any talk of finances should have happened at this point. From her, from Heavenly, from whoever. But Heavenly wasn't trying to let up off it, y'all. So when Jackie grabs the mic, she greets everybody. She tries to capture, everybody's attention and says, whatever she says. She's followed up by Heavenly, who immediately goes around and is like, Toya, where you at? Where's Toya? Toya's like, oh, I'm over here. My husband's over there. And she's like, yeah, Toya ain't putting no money. She didn't sponsor. She didn't give anything. And I was just like, that was so freaking like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes Heavenly is funny with her commentary and her banter and all of that stuff, all that Heavenly stuff, but this moment was tacky AF and very uncalled for, I feel like. So because of that, Eugene goes up to Damon and he's like, I don't really appreciate her trying to put that narrative out there and make us look like we cheap or whatever, make my wife look like she cheap. Like, that's not cool. And this is where I kind of got to get on Damon, because he's always so complacent or complicit with having these BS like all the time. And I'm like, it's crazy because he just sits there and be quiet when in all actuality, he's probably the only person that could speak to her and could give her his 2 cents and she'd actually take it in and actually apply it. Isn't that crazy how the one person who ain't gonna do it has the power to be able to do it? But anyway, they back up off it for that minute because guess what, y'all? Guess who makes their appearance at this point? Where's the oh? Guess who makes their appearance at this point, y'all? Miss Quad. She got it. She makes her grand entrance at this point. I thought she looked real nice or whatever. I don't know who this is on her arm, but who cares? Who cares? And everybody was like, Jack was like, who by the Quad? Everybody's like, oh gosh, it's about to get awkward. And as you could see in the background there, freaking Toya and Eugene at this point, because Toya's over it because of what just happened. She's like, what better time than now to make our grand exit? So they literally pass each other like two ships in the night. And Quad is also like, why would I say hi? Like, she don't even care. So I was just like, I mean, she don't care. I don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody cares at this point. So wasn't mad at that because they don't care. So Quad comes in and she hugs Sweet Tea. And the first thing Sweet Tea could say in her confessional is, after everything that happened in California, why is your ex-wife here? And I'm like, that's what it is right there. And I'm not trying to grasp my straws here, y'all. I'm just calling it like I see it. She's still bothered, I feel like, by Quad's presence, even though they is officially married by now. And the ink on the freaking papers is dry. She's still bothered because it's not even his ex-wife. She was a cast member on the show before you even thought about. Were you even grown? You were probably still like a minor. No. I'm not gonna say minor. Because what? Sweetie's like what, 30? I think she's 30. Is she 30 or 32? Something like that. So do the math. 30, this 10. No, she was an adult when this show came on. But anyway, y'all know what I was getting at. No one was even thinking about her when Quad first debuted on the show. So why are you using that language? It gives, you're bothered. You thought the Wicked Witch was deceased. You thought you was good, and now she came through stepping, and you was bothered. Okay. That's what it gives, at least for me. Y'all let me know. But I clocked that when she said that. Like, why is your ex-wife here? Because she was on the show before you? That? Anyway. And Simone was like, oh my God. Simone and Cecil did make me laugh. I'm not going to lie. I don't have a picture of Simone's face, but Cecil was standing there looking with this pained, awkward expression the entire time. So awkward. The only thing that was more awkward than that, though, y'all, was Dr. G. It was Dr. freaking G. And I'm pretty sure this is Sweet Tea, bitter tea, her sister or whatever. I'm pretty sure this was her lock hanging down from her hair. At first I was like, what? And then I thought about it and I was like, oh, I mean, I guess that's kind of cute or whatever. Like she has a lock added to her hair from her sister's locks, like her twins locks. Like I guess that was, cute. But going back to what I was talking about, y'all, this man looks so uncomfortable because Quad, it was nice seeing her, but I was just kind of like, I feel like you could have just kept it at high and by, a real cordial or whatever, without I don't know, she was laying it on super thick, very much on brand for Quad, but I was just kind of like, okay, we don't need to do all that. And when she asked to hug his neck, I was like, why do we, I don't even, where did that phrase come from? Did I miss something? Because where did that phrase come from all of a sudden? That's like the second time I've heard that in like the past month. Yeah, wasn't it Buffy or contest? Like, I've been hearing that so often, and it's just an awkward phrase and just kind of weird to me. So I don't know why she asked that. But when she asked if she could hug him, Sweet Tea was like, you gotta ask him or whatever. And he's like, okay. And they have this awkward hug. And again, she's congratulating them and stuff. And everything's all right. Where's Dr. Greg? You don't gotta be like that. Come over here. Come over here. How you guys doing? Yeah? Good? Everything good? Yeah. Well, you look great. You look great. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've got another event to go to anyway. Catch you guys later. Like, it was given that. And I was just like, just stop. Oh, just stop. In the end, the event did go well for the most part, except for those little hiccups, as I said before. And Jackie, in the end, one thing I did pick up on is she says that Quad is the only person that has the power or whatever to just who can destroy Quad. Okay. Don't know why that was necessary to say, but that was, I think, Jackie's way of letting us know that there's still separation between Quad and the group, that they aren't the enemies here, that it's very much a Quad thing. That's how I took it, y'all. But let me know, how do you guys feel about not just this episode, not just my commentary, but the whole season? Because I enjoyed giving you guys my take on this season of Married to Medicine. This is my first season, you guys, doing reviews, recaps on Married to Medicine. So I was excited. I did it. And now we just have 3 parts to the reunion to do, and it'll be an official wrap. But I spoke about Heavenly's tweets and stuff like that on my video from the other day. If you guys have not checked that out, go ahead and do so, where I discussed the trailer, and I also talked a little bit about the Real Housewives of Atlanta 2 over there, whatever. But definitely check that out if you haven't already. That's why I didn't discuss it here. But I enjoyed this season. I enjoyed giving you guys my opinions, my thoughts, everything on it. I will say that it did fall flat in some areas. I want to say like episodes like 5, 6, 7. I don't know. Some episodes all up in there were kind of like before we went to, after we got back from California and before we went to Hilton Head, it was kind of starting to give for me a little bit, but we were able to finish out strong enough, respectably strong, if you ask me. And because of that, I would like to know what you guys think of the season as a whole, this episode, anything you guys want to talk about as it pertains to Married to Medicine season 10. Drop down in those comments, let me know, and I will see you guys for the reunion. If you have not liked the video already, please go ahead, help your girl out, hit that like button, and yep, I will see you back for the reunion part 1 next freaking week, you guys. Bye.